Hey, thanks for checking this video out. I upgraded my headlights. This is my 1971 Ford F-250 camper special. And the originals, you know, they're from the 70s, and for someone with bad nighttime vision, it was just a little iffy as far as that goes. So this is the original all-in-one, plugged right into the wiring harness. But these new headlights, straight from LMC truck, I will put the parts number in the description. Super easy to install. Honestly, you really just need a Phillips screwdriver, maybe some dielectric grease. The one thing I ran into, you'll see halfway through the video, the high and the low beams had actually kind of switched. So when I hit the dim indicator switch on the floor and the indicator was on the dash, that was actually the low beams. So then when that was on regular setting dims, that was the high beams. But anyways, I just found which common ground was and switched over those wires accordingly. Pretty easy to do. They do have this optional LED halo on the outside that can be wired up to those parking lights. I did not go through doing that in this video. For now, I'm just rolling with the headlights as they are. Thanks for checking the video out. Okay, we got this, I believe this was probably a replacement one. This is General Electric, obviously probably not the original, but got that guy out, and this whole right side has had some kind of damage, you could tell from that. And the dents here, I don't know what we'll do in way of trying to straighten that out. I'm also needing some of these little clips, but see what we can do. Some of that grime out. Yeah, so again, looking at the LMC truck catalog here for the Bumpsides. The one we got here, the one that I was gifted actually from my in-laws for Christmas, thanks y'all, was, it's this upgraded 7-inch Halogen. So what we took off, again, I don't think the original, but a Halogen General Electric is just, I mean, as you saw on the garage door there, it just really underperformed. So we didn't go with the LED headlights. I don't necessarily like the look of LEDs. I wanted to keep an original style look, but what's nice is that these bulbs, you don't have to replace the whole unit. Down the line, if a bulb burns out or something, there are replacement bulbs for these new halogen ones, just 10 bucks. All right, so I've got this driver's side light actually installed, but my I taped it off where we left off, and then my phone ran out of storage. Anyways, we're gonna repeat the same process over here, so I figured we could just pick it up on this side. Take it apart and get that new bulb installed. The new bulb installed. The new light installed. All right, so just like on that other side, gonna get this guy taped off. that halo ring lighting on the outside. You could wire that up, which I probably will do that later. Wire it up to the parking lights there. But to start, I'm not going to be needing those. Oh man, here comes the fun game of find the end of the tape. Is that it? Looks like that could be it. Just don't want those making any connection, hitting any metal ground. All right, so we got that taped off. Let's get this bad boy installed. So from LMC, they're gonna send this little switch converter. Looks like this. So that looks like our original, which by the way, here's the light from this side. Definitely not original. We see a Napa stamp dated like 16, looks like. Wagner. Got our date stamp here, 2020, 8/24. Anyways, with all these connections, take a little bit of dielectric grease and Q-tip. Just get a little bit of that going on. And just like I did on the other side, we've got it seated all the way. You can see that's a tight connection. But just for the hell of it, we're gonna run a line of electrical tape around that. Some of the moisture out. All right, let's get this situated. Get that ring back in place. Find my screwdriver. Try to find back of the lights had those little grooves where it situates in. Just double check that I'm on. Yep, there they are. And button her up. All right, so this is about to be the inaugural lighting. No adjustments have been made. I just reconnected the battery and we'll see where we're sitting. I'm tightening this top screw, which pulls it up ever so slightly. And that's actually, you know, it's just down from level. So the previous owner here left me set up where this, you know, there was some kind of accident hitting a pole or something, and so that has this whole right system kind of wonky, and gonna get it adjusted as best I can. Here come the brights. You know, that almost seems backwards. this is actually reversed. Let's look at how it lights up. Let's go into brights. Let's hop out of brights. Yeah, I might have to look into that. Alright, so here we are, day 2. We've got some new days, daylight. Started taking things apart. And ultimately, you know, things were working, so the ground's good, everything else. But it was kind of miswired in the sense that in the cab, you put the lights on and, you know, not clicking into high beams, but the high beams were on. So then you click in, the dash indicator comes on, and that was actually the low beam. So we'll dig in a little bit, and I think it has something to do with this pigtail wiring. I've just got an extra one here. I've got a diagram. Go ahead and diagnose and figure out which wires I need to switch around. I've already taken, with this extra one, taken and switched things around to the orientation that I believe it needs to go. I'll show you how we're doing this. Just a little screwdriver, releasing the pressure in this tang here, and that makes it so that it'll pull out. Yeah, so looking back at yesterday's footage, I realized that maybe some closer shots could be worthwhile here. So there's this retainer ring, just 3 screws for when you're taking these headlights in and out off bump sides. 1, 2, and then there's a third one down here. See if I can find it without bending over. Or yeah, there you are. 1, 2, 3. Don't have to take them all the way out. Just loosen them a touch. So that slide this retainer ring over to the larger holes there. May have to loosen this bottom one a little more actually. Yeah. Yep, so that slides over like that. And go ahead and pop that ring out. Just like that. Set it aside. We've got the light. Exact same orientation. So looking at this, it's the exact same orientation as the other side, but looking at this, I thought it was going to be switched. Again, this is from the 1970, but we've got the ground wire, black 57 here, thinking of this as like the 3-prong like that, on this outside edge. And then, but on this side, 57 is on that opposite outside edge. There. But with my pickup, both of the black wires are on what I'm going to call this right hand outside edge there. Here's driver, black outside right hand edge going into black here, which draws into the middle. Alright, so I've taken out this passenger side. Again, we're going to keep black ground where that is. Switch around the orientation of green and brown there. There's different tools for tang removal on these modern connectors like that, but I find just this little screwdriver works. You pop it in, relieve that, and pull it on through. So we're changing out the brown, green. Okay. Then it just slides right back in. There. And there. Get this headlight back in. Alright, so there's a top orientation on these lights. I forgot to call that out yesterday, but we'll get that top orientation in place. It's the same orientation I was using. but that's just kind of nice on the actual glass. It'll signify that. All right, so we'll get this seated roughly, at least for now. And I'll go do the same on the other side, switching the orientation of that green and brown wires, and then see if we're back to normal on the high and low beams. All right, so everything's kind of temporarily resituated. Here we go now for the moment of truth. Let's see if we get some lights the way it should be. Ooh, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's a little bit dim on the garage door. Yeah, so that there looks to have solved the problem. Let's go ahead and kick on that high beam switch. That's the ticket. That is the ticket. I'll put all the parts numbers and such below in the description, but you know, if you pick this up from LMC Truck and they send you this pigtail connector deal, just know, depending on your bump side, on your pickup, you may have to switch the orientation of these two around, and I hope that this video helps. Again, it's quite easy, just relieve the that pressure and that tang on both of those. Pull it down. All right, so I'm back on this right side that's been a little messed up since the beginning, since I got the truck. And I was digging in here. This is the adjustment to bring this whole bulb plate up and down, and this brings it right and left. And it hooks around, you know, behind that base of that screw, and then you make your adjustment. But a big part of the problem here is that this guy is not actually seated on that screw correctly. And I've been kind of messing with it, trying to get it to seat, and it's close, but not quite there. So before I go any further with this crazy right light and driver light and mess it up, what I did is popped it back out, bent, kind of reshaped this with the needle nose, and got that resituated on there about as high up as I can for right now, pointing upward. And we'll call it. So on this right side, here's my 70 to 72. These little retainers, these little kind of nut bezel rather, there's an outside one and the inside, and then the screws. So I'm missing quite a few. Well, I'm missing 2 on this right side, and I have a third that's broken. So really, it's really only being held in by, well, I guess these 2 inner ones on the left. But again, when I go to reattach this, you'll see what I'm saying, in the sense that we've got this side, but that's broken, that's snapped. I might as well just take it off. It's not even really connecting up into that. But on this left side, this guy is still working, that interior one, and then this screw will go into that one that hung in there, that's still working. Missing a screw altogether on this bottom right. But yeah, again, I'm amazed at what you can find on LMC Truck, and that maybe I'll do a follow-up video on this, but I'm definitely going to be putting in an order pretty shortly here to get those nut bezels and get everything kind of more squared away on this side. Well, we'll do a test later on when it's dark, but there we go. It's installed. The new headlights are installed. Got that pigtail connector rewired so the high and low beams are accurate. And they look pretty awesome.
Now the officials are going to huddle up. And away on the field is the Lord Blue was down in possession. It is Blue's ball. First down. Now NFC East 2020 was back. Giants hang out of the clock, they win.